All right, thank you. Hope everybody had a wonderful lunch. I know I sure did. We have still got so many great things coming up for you all this afternoon, some amazing speakers and panels. And of course, what's the best way to end a day in Vegas? Cocktails. So you have that to look forward to as well, with the side of networking. Always lots of fun. So we're going to move forward here to another speaker session, which is on the subject of here is your sign and what you're looking for. Ooh, intriguing. Discussing the various strategies to grow in marketing and figuring out what suits best for different brands, the speaker sheds light on what marketers look for when branding and advertising. Please put your hands together to welcome Tristan Helm, perspective coach and mental strength trainer, best-selling author, motivational speaker at HelmMastery, taking the lead in life. Welcome.
I remember as a kid, I would be swimming and I'd look up at the high dive and I'd be like, I can do that. And I'd get up there and I'd get to the edge of it and I was like, I don't think I can do that. And I remember very vividly, in fact, because that's obviously how much it impacted me, but as I stepped up and I just closed my eyes and I leaped off, I felt the rush of the cold water, because it was cold, come all the way up my feet, my legs, my chest, and in my head. And I had this overwhelming sense and this rush of accomplishment. That is exactly how I feel right now. And I have been on other stages. I've spoken all over, but that is something that I hold very near and dear to me, no matter how many times I'm up here, because I never want that to get old. Just like with my marriage, that I never want to just become husband and wife or remain partners and roommates. I remind myself every single day. My topic is very, very simple. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm going to give you a little bit of a clip of what I do, and then I'm going to show you how I do what I do. My title is very simple. It is, Here's Your Sign, How to Know What You're Looking For. I know this is working. I just tested it earlier. There we go. All right. So it would seem in this huge world, we are just specks of dust. And in retrospect, we are, but think about the impact we can have as individuals upon every single person that we're marketing with or every single person that we're doing business for. So here's just a little bit about me. I was born in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Oh, sorry, that's next slide. So here's a little bit about me. My name is Tristan Helm. I am a perspective coach. Everything we do is based upon our perception, meaning how we see the world is how we're going to react to it. I have seen and I've worked with individuals who are dealing with situations that were identical in every way, but they reacted completely different, and it had to do with their perception. I have a course, which I'm going to elaborate more, where I work with people who have experienced trauma and low self-esteem by helping them create mental strength. I have a 6-week course where we create an end goal. What is the next step in their life? We talk about overcoming anxiety, mental health, mental barriers in general, how to track progress, how to reflect, and how to maintain momentum, and then how to actually look at each obstacle that we have. Because the obstacles we have are going to tell what we should do and where we should go if our perception is exactly where it should be. So now, a little bit about me. I was born in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. My mother took a plane from there and came to Ponca City and started her life all over because of a very domestic situation with my biological father. She met a man. He is my dad. He raised me. And I remained all around the Oklahoma. Let's see if this little thing works. Of course not. I remained in the Oklahoma area for most of my life. And I came to a part where I was only growing so much. Like, there was only so much I could do. And I felt like I was stuck. And I was praying, and my lovely wife, we were courting at the time, and she began praying. And all of a sudden, I felt this desire, this passion to move to Texas. Now, I like comfort as much as anybody else, all right? I had my own house. I had a great job. I was a part of a church. I was a minister in my church. I had everything lined up. So I was not in a very hostile situation. So I had no desire to move to a state that everybody considers to be a separate country from the rest of the United States. And if you're from Texas or you know anything about Texas, there ain't nothing like Texas pride. Like, yeah, thank you. I'm a converted Texan. I will tell you that. I am converted. And also give you a little bit about me. I'm a preacher by nature, so I get really, really excited. I'm Pentecostal. So woo, yeah, because I'm passionate about what I do. So anyways, God calls me up, and he's like, hey, you're going to move to Texas. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'll pray. He's like, I'm right here. No. I'm like, I'll pray more. And as God would have it, I moved to Texas. A little bit of money, a 26-foot truck with all the stuff that I could cram in it, and that was it. That was all I had. Luckily, I did have a very supportive friend who we were courting, but when I arrived, I was like, hey, I made it. And she was like, good, I'm happy for you. I was like, well, you're my friend. I'm supposed to marry you. But as the Lord would have it, and I was able to woo her enough and court her long enough, I caught her in a weak moment, decided to marry her. And I guess she said yes. So I made this trip to Texas, and my life changed completely. Things that I had never understood, I began to understand in a whole new way. Scientific things. So what happened was once things got to a point where I knew exactly where I was supposed to be. And this is the point of this keynote, this speaking that I'm doing, is once I got to that point, and I knew I don't even need another sign from God. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I determined what I could do, and I knew this is exactly where I'm going. I know who I am. I'm confident in that. And it took a long time to get to that spot, by the way. When I activated this new sector of my brain, which I'm going to talk about for a few minutes, I became more. I was able to activate and do things that I've never even thought that I could do. Like, I barely passed high school. And I don't even know how I passed college science. You asked me, I'm like, I don't know. I just guessed, and I got right answers. But all of a sudden, when I stepped into a realm that I had never been in, but I knew it's exactly where I needed to be, my brain started taking in new sectors. It started taking in new activity. And now I can remember a whole lot of stuff from science that I was like, I wanted to tell my science teacher, like, you kind of messed up because I get it now. But I became stronger. I became more passionate because I knew this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So there is a part in your brain that is activated in the middle. It is called confirmation bias. It is a psychological term that means the things that you believe, the things that you desire, the things that you're wanting to see, you're going to see them. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just that's what you're seeing. And it's always looking for signs to constantly affirm that. Like, yes, I see a blue truck. Well, now I'm going to see blue trucks everywhere. And the people that I work with feel like they're worthless and they can't amount to anything. So guess what they see? They see every possible sign out in the world telling them that's true for them. But whenever I come in and I do my best with HelmMastery to add value, they begin seeing things that are of value. Confirmation bias takes objective facts and what they already believe, and it meets right in the middle. And it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you're looking for it and you know what you're looking for, you're going to see it everywhere. So I'm not taking away from God giving us signs. But God did put this a part of us whenever we become adamant in our position and we know exactly what we're supposed to be doing, we start seeing everything around us in a light. So I use a Spider-Man. I bought a truck, and it was white, and I thought, man, I got me a white truck. This is the coolest truck in the world. And then guess what? I started seeing white trucks everywhere. And I was like, everyone's just copying me. But they had been there, but because now I'm in that mode, that's all I saw. It'd be like if you're at a party, and all of a sudden you think you got this gorgeous outfit on, this nice suit, and you think, man, this thing is awesome. This looks good. And you walk in and you see somebody else, and you're like, nope, I'm gone. Because it just kind of ruins it. But that's what you're taking on. That's what you see. So the signs are there. Whatever business aspect you're in, whatever strategies you're looking for, that's where you learn to take a step back and start looking at what am I not seeing? What's not working? What is working? And what things have I done, or what things have I not done that I could do? Here's an example.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball. How many passes did you count? The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla? This video is from research by Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris and
Anybody else see the gorilla from the very beginning? And have you seen the video before? Okay, well that don't count then, because you already knew you knew what to look for, right? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I've yet to meet a person who's never seen any video or any example of that, and they see the gorilla or they see whatever it is. But that's exactly what happened to everybody in this room. Something got activated in your brain when you're like, "Wait, gorilla? What is he talking about?" There was a gorilla right in the middle of that. Because your brain got activated, a whole new sensor, once something was made aware. But why? Why am I saying this? What's the point? Why am I even here? Why am I even doing this? Why am I a part of this business? I'm so glad I did not trip, by the way. That would have been embarrassing, but I'd have been okay. Because when you know what you're made for, when you know what you are designed to do, what you are put on this earth for, when it becomes so much more clear, and I'm not talking about I'm comfortable, I'm in my setting, I'm talking about I'm always constantly growing. I'm always looking for more. I'm always wanting to do better. Your eyes open and to a whole new world. Aladdin used to be my favorite movie, and I thought, that's perfect. All right, so you have a brain, or you have a part in your brain. It's called the reticular activating system. That is the part of the brain that tells you what you should be doing when you should be doing it. That's the one that, like, my baby cries, I'm snoring, and my wife jumps out of bed, ready to go get him. That's why traffic can be going by, and I can't sleep for nothing, but my kids can be fighting, and I'm out. Like, I'm just kidding. That's just an example. But the reticular activating system is completely designed on our priorities. What we prioritize in our life, that is what alerts the reticular activating system. That's reticulous, right? Yeah, laugh. Hey, there you go. It's okay. Lighten up. It's good. This is awesome. when I learned that psychology, I began like evaluating, like, what's not activated in my system? What am I not prioritizing? And every time that something alerts me, I'm like, okay, why did that get my attention? But the whole idea, man, I wish my PowerPoint or my thing would work, but it doesn't. It activates everything else in your system. I remember when I was in school, the one thing I do remember from science class is that they said your brain has all like these paper notes. And every time you want to move a part of your body, it sends a note down there. So I visualized that. And so whenever I learned this, I was like, oh, this is where all the notepads are. This is the thing that's sending the message. That's the part of the neurotransmitters. But that's what's so amazing is when I prioritize what I'm doing. And I don't mean, okay, wait, what I'm doing is working. I mean, what can I do to enhance and amp up my business, my life, everything I'm doing? What can I do to increase that? Because when you do, you are empowered. You become free from the subconscious mindset. The subconscious mindset is completely autopilot at all times. That's why they call it TV programming. It's just programming the brain to do what it's always been doing. It doesn't ever think of anything new. It's subconscious. So, to the front, to the front. All right, I got a few laughs. Thank you. All right, so you have in the very front of your brain, you have what's called the prefrontal cortex. That is where the consciousness is. That is where you're driving down the road and some meathead cuts you off and you're like, whoa! And all of a sudden you're alert and you're there. You're like, now I'm watching for everything. Okay? The prefrontal cortex is in charge of making the decisions that activate the reticular system. Okay? Again, everything else is subconscious. It's just, that's what I've always said, that's what I've always done, that's how it's always been, that's how it's always going to be. So my whole point in all this is for us to learn, what am I doing now and what do I need to do to grow? Fear stops you from making the right decisions. So the point of that is very simple. Your fear activates when you get scared, when you feel threatened, it activates the amygdala. Man, this thing was just working. It activates the amygdala. The amygdala then goes down to the hypothalamus, or the hippocampus, and then feeds into the adrenaline glands, and that's where we get fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. The programming, what we've always done, what we've trained ourselves for. So whenever we have that fear to step out onto the skydive, it prevents us from seeing new territory. It prevents us from learning new things because we're scared of the unknown. So, how do I activate it? What do I do? How do I overcome this fear and know that my destiny? Now, I would imagine everybody in here, you're not here by accident, right? Is anybody here just wandering around and accidentally pay all the money and then get your tag by accident? Everyone's, okay, you guys were intentional. Awesome, I've got the right people. When you know your destiny and you know where you're going, you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, that's when you can learn to activate, okay, what's the next step for my business? How can I market this better? How can I reach a broader audience? Or how can I narrow down my niche so I'm fitting the right? How can I help the people that need me the most? The best way to do it is breathe. Before you do anything, before you react to a client or a business problem, you breathe. Now here, I want everyone to help me out with this one. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath for 4 seconds. So that means while you're taking a deep breath for 4 long seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ready? Take a breath. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now release it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you learn to breathe, what happens is you oxygenate the brain to touching more neurotransmitters and activating more parts of the brain so you can start thinking a little bit clearly. See, whenever you're in that fight, flight, freeze, they did studies and they did brain scans, and they found that there was actually holes in the brain and lumps, and things were so limited because it wasn't getting oxygen. Have you ever noticed when you're scared, what do? That scared me. You start breathing faster. Your heart rate increases. Your breath is short. So whenever you oxygenate the brain, you allow it to think clearly. So all you really need is God and a dream. Something that you know was given to you, that you know is supposed to constantly be growing. And yes, for anybody who just might, no, it can't be that. Yes, it is that simple. I'm going to say it again. Yes, it is that simple. That doesn't mean it's easy. It means it's that simple. It is difficult, but when you're holding on to a dream, when you know this is what I'm doing, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be going, nothing can stop you. You become an immovable force. You are not an immovable force. You become an unstoppable force. God gave it, and you don't need anything else to keep you there because that's what you're holding on to. So whenever you know that's what I'm doing, you start seeing all the signs to confirm it. And you will start feeling your brain get stagnant because it's not growing. And then the reticular steps in, is like, I got to do something. I need to grow. I need to be challenged. So, today, this is your choice. Check out my little Michael Jackson dance. If you're looking for a sign to get out, this is it. If you're looking for a sign to quit, this is it. But if you're needing something to keep pushing you forward, this is your sign. Look for it. Know what you're looking for so you can then see the signs. And just in case anybody has forgotten, we're at the Mirage Hotel, Las Vegas, Nevada, next to that beautiful little volcano. So I need everybody to participate real quick. Repeat after me. I'm right where I need to be. One more time. Say it like you mean it, though. There we go. There we go. You just activated it just now. Not just because I told you to say it, but because you said it like you meant it. And it pushes us for greatness. Greatness is not something that just stays along the lines. It's constantly growing. That's what greatness is. Greatness is always keeping things fresh. It's keeping things growing. It's constantly moving. Benjamin Franklin said that most people die at 25, but they don't bury them until they're in their 70s or 80s because they get content. But when you find that dream and you hold on to it and you keep pushing for more of it, you stay alive the entire time and you end up living a whole different life or a whole better life. So you have the choice today to make something happen differently, more than what you've already done. No matter how successful you are, if you're the CEO of Google, or if you're on the other end and you don't even have a job, which the point is, there's always room to grow. And I'm going to show you right now with an example. All right, so I need everyone to get out their phones. I know it's not always considered to be polite to text while someone's speaking, but it's okay. I'm giving you permission. All right, type in 214-983-1811. This is my number, and I want you to tell me a challenge, either a goal that you have or a challenge that you are dealing with. And right here, right now, I'm going to walk this right through my steps. Here we go. Promise I'm not playing like Candy Crush or anything. There it is. All right. I'm not going to throw anybody on the bus, but someone said healthy relationships and boundaries. Here's what I would do. In fact, I'm going to give everybody a gift in this room today, right now. Not tangibly, because I don't know how many people are in here and I don't have anything on me, but I'm going to give you something. All right, so healthy relationships and boundary. We'd find out what's your relationships like right now. What does it look like? Okay? What is some of the issues you're having in that relationships? So you'd find out where you're at. Say, what is your ideal relationship? What does a healthy relationship look like to you? And then we would look for objective truth. Okay, not subjective, not, well, they tell me this and that makes me feel good. I mean, objective truths. Healthy relationships, communication, affection, attention, proper, I can't even think of it, like knowing that you are in a clear, reciprocated love, right? Or a relationship anyways. And then boundaries that say, okay, where are your boundaries at now? Where could they be? And what does a healthy boundary look like? And then from there, we would build out a plan. We'd say, okay, well, after we've designed that, okay, or we have figured out where you're at and what a healthy relationships look like, we would start building steps to get to that. And whenever I do this Reaching Beyond course, I love talking about it because it's like, okay, we're at the bottom, but we're going to look at the top, and we're going to take a quick step up to the top, and we're going to look at every step on the way down. What's the step right before the next one down? And then we work ourselves down to the very bottom where we started at, and then we look up, and then we start walking. That's exactly what I would do if someone, that's actually what I do with people who are struggling with healthy relationships. We look at what does a healthy relationship look like to them. Okay, well, here are the steps. What toxic people are in your life that is hurting you? Or who are you allowing to influence you? Because we can't just remove everybody from our life that tells us we don't look good in our outfit or puts us down. We can't just remove them. As ideal as that would be, we have to learn to just guard ourselves. So we would talk about mental strength. And then as we're doing that, we would take breaks and we would celebrate those steps. You're doing better. Now, I know, and this is a real life scenario, they didn't have the end result yet, but they were making progress. They didn't see it because they were so focused on the end game, they didn't see any of the progress. So what we would do is we would step back and say, okay, where were you at a couple weeks ago? Okay, so now that you learn that you're not tolerating this, we should go celebrate. Let's go get a gift. Let's go get some ice cream. Let's take a break and enjoy that you've made progress. And then we would continue working towards that until you got that end goal. And right as we reach that end goal, we would celebrate, enjoy it, and then we'd say, all right, what's the next step? What are we going to do with our healthy relationship now that we have it? All right, for my gift, that same number you just text, I want you to text gift. G-I-F-T, gift. And what you're going to do is you're going to need a link to an unlisted YouTube series that I created on this very topic. Most of the things that we're working on, they have different methods, but similar principles. Like buildings. Think of them like buildings. They all have a foundation, right? They have flooring, they have wires, they have plumbing. They've got all these things, and all of them have those things in common. So whenever I approach any situation, what I do is I find the base principle that we're trying to look for. And then we build methods that are effective to that particular case. All right, so my packaging is usually about $2,500 for this. And that is the one-on-one coaching where it is, I help you find the method yourself. But the other package I have is a do-it-yourself package. It is $9.97, and you get a video series, you get PowerPoint. I have a booth in the back where we have the physical copies of it, and you get a worksheet. And then I'm on standby for whenever you need. What I am doing right now, just for this event, and again, pull out your phones. I want you to type in JOIN, J-O-I-N. I almost said Y. Thankfully, I passed English. I didn't do the best in science, but I did in English. type in join. And what that's going to do is it's going to lock in that price. And you can, if you look on my website, you will see that the price, that's legitimate. I'm not just saying that for this event. If you go to my booth, it's booth 7. I've marked it out, and I've put it just for Las Vegas. And what that's going to do is whenever I reach back out to you and we decide that, hey, you're a good fit. Because one thing I will always stand on is my integrity. If I can't help you, I won't. I will either send you to somebody who can, or I will help you find the answer. Because that's the only thing we can really have is our integrity and our honesty. And that's what I will always, no matter what happens, no matter what decision I make, I never want people to question my integrity. So I have a series of questions that I work with people to find out, okay, are they a good fit? And if they're not, okay, I know somebody, they are like the best at this. So a lot of people that I network, they are among the best in their area. 2 minutes? You are awesome. Thank you so much. I'm actually just about done. So again, type in join, 214-983-1811, and it will lock in the price. And I will remember, because obviously I'll have your number for this event. So, just because she gave me 2 more minutes, I'm going to look at one more time, and I'm going to do another scenario. This is just a bonus. Okay, this is like reaching in the fry bag, realizing you got it, and like, oh, I got a bonus fry. Yes, awesome. That was a joke. Does it mean you guys never get the bonus fry? You're like, oh, I still want some more French fries. And you reach in there and you're like, oh, cool, it's a fry. How did I miss that? That thing is super long. And you get like a whole ketchup packet just for that one long fry. Maybe I'm the weird one. That's me. All right. Someone says, hold myself accountable for the schedule I create. Oh, my goodness, I love schedules. I like want to leap up and down for them. I love schedules. And I love changing them up. So I'm glad that one, whoever said that, thank you so much. So why do you want to schedule? And then we would look at, why are you not holding yourself to that schedule? Okay, well, that's where we're going to do a little bit of reticular activating system, and we're going to prioritize it. Maybe it's you're not getting up in the morning. Okay, we're going to set our alarm over across the room, but I need to look at my phone at night. No, you don't. You need to sleep. And so that way, it forces you to get up because it's going to be an obnoxious sound, and you're going to, and then you're going to look at your phone, and we're going to have a reminder there. And that reminder says, what are you doing? Don't you dare go back to sleep, or something like that. Whatever you would say to motivate yourself. I think that was it, yeah. Then we would try it 3 days out of the week. Because if you try to do it all at once, you end up doing really good. It's like whenever I used to go to the gym in the morning, I would see like nobody there, and then January 1st, everybody and their mama's there. And I'm like, who are these people? So I was talking to a friend, I'm like, dude, he's like, their resolution is they'll be gone in like a week. And they were there for like 3 days and they were gone. So I don't ever like jump in completely and just, 5 days a week, we're gonna just knock this thing out. No, you start off small, create manageable steps, do something what you can do, and then we're gonna up the ante. And then find out, okay, what else can we do to help your schedule be more vamped up for you to be productive? I think that's the end of my time. Everybody, thank you so much for your time and attention, your participation. You guys have a wonderful day. My bad.
That was so awesome and interesting. Let's give him another round of applause, guys. Get that blood circulating. That was super cool, very empowering. So before we move on,